Shields up, Iron Breakers. We're kind of here coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to be bringing you another one of my Anthem builds. This time around, we're going to be focusing on the Ranger, and pretty much moving forward, most of the builds that you will see from me are either going to be for the Ranger or the Colossus, because those are the two javelins that I like the most. I can see how the Storm and Interceptor can be fun, but they just don't appeal to me as much as the Ranger and the Colossus. So having said that, let's take a look at the build that I'm rocking in this video right now. And we're going to be starting by taking a look at the abilities, which in my opinion are pretty much the cornerstone of every build. And in this build, the most important ability has to be the grenade that you guys see me using right there, which is the last argument. Now, the last argument is an upgraded version of the frag grenade, which is a detonator, so you can use it to combo with. And the special text from the Masterwork version says, hitting enemies adds 700% ultimate charge. And I know some of you guys are going to go like, wait a minute, does that mean it charges your ultimate 7 times every time you hit it? No. What that means is whenever you hit with an ability, whenever you combo with abilities, you get a little bit of ultimate charge. What this particular item does is you get 7 times that little bit of ultimate charge, and it does make quite a bit of difference. If you're able to hit like a big pack of enemies, I've seen this thing charge almost half of my ultimate gauge in one hit. And the cool thing about this particular item on the version that I got is that it also comes with a roll of gear plus 100% charges, which basically means that you're going to get 2 charges of this grenade instead of only being able to use it once per cooldown. And that makes it really, really powerful. You can get your ultimate ability really, really fast. And now you guys are like, okay, so how did you complement that with your assault launcher? And for the assault launcher, we're going to go with the Tactical Onslaught. Now, Tactical Onslaught is basically the upgraded version of Venom Darts. So this is a primer attack, despite the fact that there really isn't a primer icon there. Trust me, this thing primes with acid. And essentially the only special thing that the Masterwork version does is that it gives you an extra charge. But the cool thing is that the Venom Darts by default come with 2 charges. So when you get an extra charge, you get 2 more charges on top of that. So that gives you 4 charges, thus enabling you to prime 4 targets in quick succession, and then using the grenade to detonate all those 4 targets, getting a ton of ultimate damage in, and even a little bit of utility for your whole team, as you guys will see when we get to the components. And the really cool thing about the roll that we have here, I mean, it's not the best of rolls, but at the same time, it increases your grenade damage by 8%, not too much, but it also reduces its cooldown by 28%, which coupled together with the fact that you also have 100% more charges on that grenade, means you're going to be able to use that grenade quite often, and that is pretty much the cornerstone of the build. So if you guys are curious about the weapons that I'm using, my advice to you when it comes to weapons is just use whatever you feel comfortable with and use the best weapons that you possibly have. But in my case, I have this really, really good death from above, which is a burst marksman rifle, and it comes with Raptor Sense, which means that while you're hovering, it increases weak point damage by 65%. And it has a roll of physical plus 225% damage, thus making it like a friggin' beast of a weapon. Even if I'm not hovering, this thing deals more damage than any other weapon that I have, to the point where I even have this equipped on my Colossus. Any javelin that I play is going to run with this weapon because it's just so damn powerful, okay? But usually you'll use your weapons to break shields, regardless of what weapon you're using. Now, my secondary weapon is Artenia's Gambit. And mostly I use this one because it also has a pretty decent roll with 150% more damage. But the little Masterwork perk there, which is when you're reloading, detonates a combo explosion in the immediate area, is also pretty useful if you happen to have just used all of your grenades and you don't have any other way to detonate combos, because as a Ranger you can prime with your melee attack or you can prime with those Venom Darts, and you'll be able to prime much more often with this build than you'll be able to combo with. So every now and then you can pull out this weapon, take a couple of shots, reload in the enemy's face, and detonate the combos that way as well. And detonating combos is going to be very important for this build, as you guys will see with our components right here. So we're going to be starting with Tactical Advantage. So I told you guys that that particular gun that we have allows us to deal more damage if we are hovering. And this particular component increases the engine heat threshold, thus allowing us to hover for a little bit longer. And if you hit weak points while you're hovering, it's going to lower your thruster heat buildup by 10%. So this allows you to hover considerably longer, and it is just a good component all around. Then we got Defensive Bulwark, which is going to increase your weapon damage by 25%. I mean, this is just too good not to equip as a ranger. It's just a flat 25% damage increase on your guns. Pretty damn sweet. If you happen to be low on health, it also increases the gun damage by an additional 25%. And on this particular roll, I also have 20% more thruster life, thus enabling me to hover for a little bit longer. Then we got Victor's Resolve, which increases your blast damage by 50% and lowers your impact damage by 20%. Now, an important thing to notice is that blast damage is pretty much anything that is AoE. So that grenade that we were talking about, that's blast damage. So this 50% is going to increase the damage on your grenade. But it is going to lower your single target damage by 20%, your impact damage. This also means, I believe, your guns. So you guys are like, oh, so you're nerfing your guns in order to increase your blast damage? Well, yeah, we'll get to that. You guys will understand what I'm doing. But anyway, then we also have perform a small multi-kill of 3, instantly restores 25% of maximum armor, and it's got ultimate plus 20% speed, which is good because, like I said, I'm trying to get my ultimate back up as much as possible. And this also helps you stay alive for a little bit longer whenever you get a 3 enemy multi-kill. But it does nerf your impact damage. So how are we going to fix that? Well, we're going to increase impact damage by 50% as well. And whenever we are hovering, it is going to increase all of our resistances by 10%. And like I said, this actually gels really nicely with the gun that we have that takes benefit from hovering. I would really advise you guys to try and get a gun that takes advantage from hovering for this particular build, because a lot of the Ranger's components do support that hover playstyle. Storm has more components that allow... I mean, Storm is better at hovering, hands down, but the Ranger can still hover a significant amount of time that you can still rely on those kinds of weapons if you want to. Now, the important thing here is, like I told you, you're nerfing impact damage by 20% here. You're making up for it here by increasing it by 50%, but then you're decreasing your blast damage. So basically, these two kind of cancel each other out and give you a flat 30% damage boost to blast and impact. It's pretty damn good if you ask me. And then here you have our utility component. I really like this component. So this increases your combo damage by 50%. And if you guys know, the special thing about the Rangers is that when they combo, they deal more damage to a single target when you get your combo than any other Javelin. At least that's my understanding of the Javelin's detonation capabilities. But on top of that, whenever you perform a combo, you're also restoring 40% armor to nearby allies. In this game, armor is health. So essentially, you are healing people whenever you combo. So not only you're bringing a ton of damage, you're getting your ultimate back way more often than just about any other Javelin. And you're healing people as you are doing your combos. It's just super satisfying playstyle. Gives you a little bit of support, gives you a ton of damage, and gives you a lot of ultimate potential. And then finally, we got General's Favor here. I really don't like this component. I just use it because, you know, whenever you get a Masterwork component, you want to make sure that you use that because it increases your survivability quite a bit. And the weird thing about this component is it's got a grenade symbol, so you'd figured it would reduce the cooldown on your grenades, but no. Instead, it reduces the cooldown on your assault launcher. I don't even think that there's an epic version of this item, because the epic version of the item that reduces your cooldowns, it reduces the cooldowns on your grenades, not your assault launcher. So I'm almost wondering if there's like a mistake here, but either way, this is working as intended, so this does reduce the cooldown of your assault launchers, and defeating enemies with melee increases the damage of your grenade by 50%, which again is kind of weird as the Ranger, because I'm never really using my melee to kill enemies, because the Ranger's melee is a priming ability. It would make way more sense to use your melee to prime your targets and then kill them by detonating. So the fact that they expect you to actually kill enemies with melee feels a little bit counterintuitive, but either way, like I said, this is the component that you do not want, okay? Instead of this component, you want to try to get the Badge of Devastation, because what that does is it increases your assault launcher damage by 5%, not particularly important for our build, but the Masterwork perk is performing a large hit streak, which I believe is going to be 10 targets, will instantly add a percentage of your ultimate charge. So you combine that one, which I was trying to get today. I did like 6 legendary contracts trying to get this thing. Wasn't able to get it yet, but I wanted to show you guys the build either way. But basically, if you add the Badge of Devastation onto this build, what you're going to be getting is, okay, so your third grenade increases your ultimate charge by quite a bit. If you hit multiple targets, that will increase your ultimate charge by that much more because you have the Badge of Devastation. And that enables you to use your ultimate all the friggin' time. And it is super cool to just like, oh, I'm just going to pop my ultimate. Oh, is that? I think I'll just pop my ultimate again. Oh, you know what? I feel like popping my ultimate. It's just a really satisfying build all around, and you're going to be healing, and you're going to be dealing damage. And as far as I can tell, for the Ranger, in my opinion, it doesn't get much better than this. Now, I do want to work on a couple of variations because I've seen a couple of more of interesting skills that I also want to use on the Ranger. And I want to see if those also work out as well as this one. But for now, this is what I would advise you guys to shoot for if you are playing the Ranger. Because I've seen a lot of people say, oh, the Ranger is underpowered and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't know, maybe that is the case, but I can tell you right now, I feel pretty damn powerful when I'm rocking this particular build. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this video. If you enjoyed it, hit it up with a like, comments, and feedback in the comment section down below. If you guys are new here, you might consider subscribing and clicking the bell notification icon so that you're actually notified whenever I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.